listen, ladies and gentlemen. We must discuss something in the sport of boxing, and we got to talk about Josh Taylor because I'm just looking at some things that he said and some comments. He is pretty frustrated with all of the remarks going out that he has peaked. After that loss to Teofimo Lopez, or should I say Gordo, because Teofimo, it's been a long time since we've seen Teofimo Lopez in his bag like that. I think it was definitely something spectacular and exciting. It put Teofimo Lopez back on the map. A lot of people thought Teo was finished. You understand? And he pretty much revitalized his career after defeating Josh Taylor, who was looked at as the boss of the division. And even Teofimo Lopez, they all acknowledged that, and they went in there and took him out. So the question I got for all y'all is: has Josh Taylor peaked? We need to find out. We all know that Josh Taylor, man, he's got a big time rematch on Saturday at the First Direct Arena in Leeds, England. So it's gonna be crazy to see. But as I'm evaluating Josh Taylor, he's 19-1, 13 wins by the way of knockout. The Tartan Tornado. He's 33 years old. He's a southpaw. We gonna find out. Like I say, Jack Cottrell, 28-1, 13 wins by the way of knockout. Um, I think if Josh Taylor wins this, obviously it doesn't negate what happened against Teofimo Lopez because he really got outclassed and he was the favorite. I think that's something that a lot of people don't want to acknowledge. But there was a point in time where, people feared Josh Taylor. You understand? And I'm just wanted to acknowledge that. It's going to be interesting to see if Josh Taylor could get his career, back on track, man. Because just like Teofimo Lopez did, but why can't we see another situation like Teo? When Teofimo Lopez took the bells, people continued to count him out. He is just now getting into praise, and even after that, he took a fight. And we're gonna get into that. A lot of people are upset about the opponent. People feel like there's some cherry picking going on, but I mean, it is what it is. At the end of the day, Teofimo Lopez, he's got the belt. Could we see him in a matchup with Devin Haney? Ryan Garcia. These are the names that people want to see. Nobody wants to even talk about some of these fights that we continue to get. That I thought we was behind. I thought we was getting away from all of these silly fights that people could really sleep through. But how much pressure is on Josh Taylor? To get this W. It's going to be interesting to see what are the ramifications if he was to get knocked out, if he was to get outboxed, outclassed. You got to understand boxing is an individual sport. So basically, when he, who's to say this loss, doesn't rattle him? Doesn't rattle the bird cage, and it takes a while to get Josh Taylor back up to speed and up to par, to being competitive out there. I think we're gonna find out. Did he miss a step? But we've seen it. We can't act like we haven't seen it in the sport of boxing. Um, you know, I I think to be honest with you, if I'm Josh Taylor and his team, I would, possibly win this fight because this is technically, or like I said, a rematch. You know, then you rewrite your wrong. You get in there with Teofimo Lopez again, and try to rewrite that. And win, lose, or draw. You shouldn't never got outboxed like that. Teofimo Lopez was in there dancing. You would have thought he was at a disco ball or something. The way he was in there, basically, dancing in the ring, hitting him whenever he wanted to. But it just was ridiculous. Josh Taylor should be ashamed of himself, for that performance. I don't know if he overlooked Teofimo Lopez. I don't know if he thought that he just was gonna have it in the bag, but clearly that wasn't the case. And defeat was suffered. By the hands of Teofimo Lopez. Now, Josh Taylor, you know, even all these boxes, all this chirping, all this talking, we're gonna find out that you peak. You're about to fight in like a few hours. We're gonna find out how good Josh Taylor, is. Can he return back to that plateau that he was just at? And that's gonna be key. And also, I always want to repeat this because in the sport of boxing, we got to respect guys that's going in there taking tough fights, because you got guys jumping over hula hoops trying not to get in the ring with fighters, that we want to see, and I think it's upsetting. I think it takes away from the sport. And boxing of all sports, man, they desperately, they don't need nothing like that. That's the last thing that they need. But is key. This, like, with all of these big fights happening every other week, we don't want to see, any, subpar fights that is holding up things. But let me know in the comment section. Let me know if you're from, the UK. Let me know if you're gonna be tuning into this fight, if you're gonna be at the fight. And what's on the line for Josh Taylor? I want to know because it's clearly pressure. Teofimo Lopez has moved on, and he, like I said, he had a lot of respect for him, but he's going up against Steve Claggett, who a lot of people, and this is what I wanted to get into in closing. A lot of people feel like this was a bad fight. Who was he picking, and this, that, and the third? But he did defeat Jermaine Ortiz. A lot of people looked at Ortiz as a formidable opponent, and he did beat him. So I say all this to say that there is a pathway for all of these guys to be respected. And get their careers back on track. Even guys like Devin Haney, a right win, the right opponent, he can get back in, and these careers won't be, looking like it's so bleak, but only time will tell. It's Flight Sports TV. I want to thank everybody for listening. And make sure you hit the like button and most definitely hit the subscribe button. It's Flight Sports TV. We're going to be bringing more boxing news updates and more. We're going to be bringing you coverage of the fight with Josh Taylor. Can he return to dominance? Peace and love.